Welcome to the Peace, Purpose, and Paid podcast. This is a place where healing meets ambition, where your past does not disqualify you, it prepares you, where we talk about the real journey of rebuilding your life from the inside out. This podcast is for people who have been through the fire, the survivors, the dreamers, the ones who refuse to stay stuck in survival mode. Here we talk about healing, financial growth, personal power, and walking boldly in your calling. Because the truth is, you were never meant to just survive life. You were meant to build a life that gives you peace in your mind, purpose in your soul, and prosperity in your hands. So whether you are driving, working, healing, rebuilding, or chasing your next level, welcome home. This is the Peace, Purpose, and Paid podcast. I am Lisa. I am your host. I am going to say something that a lot of people are not ready to hear, but it absolutely 100% needs to be said. Because this right here is the reason so many people stay stuck in cycles that keeps breaking them. Stop calling it love. It was attachment. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. Stop calling it love. It was attachment. And I know that might feel harsh. I know that might ruffle some feathers or rub someone the wrong way. Because when you are in it, it feels real, it feels deep, it feels intense. You're thinking about them all the time. You miss them when they are gone. You feel something in your chest when they pull away. So of course, you call it love. But I need you to understand something. Intensity is not the same thing as love. And I'm going to say that again because I know somebody missed it. Intensity is not the same thing as love. You are not in love. You are in intense attraction. So let's talk about what attraction feels like. Attraction feels like needing constant reassurance, overthinking everything they say, feeling anxious when they don't respond, losing yourself trying to keep them. Attachment feels like emotional highs and lows because one minute you're happy and the next minute you are questioning everything. Attachment feels like, why are they acting different? Did I do something wrong? Why do I feel like I'm not enough? That is not peace, okay? That is not stability, and that is absolutely 100% not love. I'm going to tell you what that actually is, and this is the hard truth. That is your nervous system reacting. That is your trauma being activated. That is your fear of abandonment being triggered. That is your need for validation, trying to hold on to something that is not stable. Now, why do we often confuse that with love? And here's where we get deeper, okay? A lot of people confuse attachment with love because attachment feels familiar. If you grew up in chaos, if love was inconsistent, if you had to earn attention, if affection came with conditions, your brain actually learned that love equals uncertainty. Love equals inconsistency. Love equals emotional roller coasters. So when you meet someone who makes you feel that same instability, your brain says, this feels like love. But it's not love. Okay, it's recognition. Your brain recognizes those feelings. So you did not fall in love You fell into a recognized pattern. Now let's talk about trauma bonding, because this is something that people do not like to talk about. Trauma bonds, because that's what a lot of these relationships really are. Trauma bonding happens when somebody hurts you, then confronts you, then hurts you again, then pulls you back in, and your brain gets addicted to this cycle. You start chasing the good moments while ignoring the consistent pain. And this is the part that breaks people. You were not in love. You were addicted. Addicted to the attention. Addicted to the validation. Addicted to the hope that they would one day possibly change, right? Addicted to the version of them that you saw in the beginning. The fantasy. Because let's be real, a lot of people don't fall in love with the person. They fall in love with the potential that they see in that person. They fall in love with the what if, the maybe one day, the if they just change this one thing. But guess what? You cannot build a life on potential, okay? You can only build a life on reality, real love. And that does not feel like confusion. Real love does not feel like anxiety. Real love does not make you question your worth. Real love is consistent. It is safe. It is calm and secure. Real love does not require you to abandon yourself to keep it. There has to be a shift in identity, okay? And this is where everything changes, because at some point you have to stop asking, why don't they love me the way I need? Or why don't they love me the way that I love them? We have to stop asking ourselves that question, and we need to start asking ourselves, why am I accepting less than what I deserve? Step into your personal power, because it's not just about them. It's about what you tolerated. It's about what you stayed for. It's about what you convinced yourself was okay. And letting go of attachment is one of the hardest things you will ever do. Because you're not just letting go of a person. You're actually letting go of the routine, the connection, the hope, the emotional dependency. You are letting go of the version of your life that you imagined with them. And sometimes that is really hard to let go, because when you have a vision of a future with someone, you get to planning and get to dreaming and all these things, right? And then one day you just have to let it go, because you understand that that is not in alignment with who you are. That is not in alignment with the things that you want to do, your goals, your dreams and aspirations, because they're never going to change. They are who they are, and you need to believe them when they show you who they are. And that does not make them a bad person by any means. That's just who they are. So breaking the attachment is necessary. But breaking the attachment feels like withdrawal, okay? Because you're going to want to text them. You're going to want to call them. You're going to think about them constantly. You're going to feel like something is missing, because your brain got used to that cycle. But missing somebody does not mean that they were good for you. Feeling attached does not mean that they were right for you. At some point, you have to choose comfort over dysfunction, or growth in discomfort, because healing will feel uncomfortable at first, but staying stuck will cost you your life, okay? You have to choose yourself. Now, choosing yourself, what does that look like? Choosing yourself looks like setting boundaries. Setting boundaries. Do not let people walk all over you. Do not shrink yourself to fit in someone else's box. Do not make yourself readily available for someone all the time. Choosing yourself looks like walking away from that which no longer serves you. Choosing yourself means not responding to every text, not responding to every, hey, can I come over for a minute? Not opening the door when you have closed it, not entertaining what drains you, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. Because the truth is, some people are not meant to stay in your life. People are in your life for a season. Maybe someone came into your life to teach you something. Maybe someone was meant to come into your life to show you something, to trigger something, to reveal something. Stop calling it love when it costs you your peace. Stop calling it love when it made you question your worth. Stop calling it love when you had to shrink to keep it. Because that is not love. That is attachment. Step into your season of letting go. Step into your season of healing and rebuilding your life. Step into your season of peace, purpose, and paid. And if you are ready to step into that season, I have created a peace, purpose, and paid journal that will help you do an absolute reset. I'm going to leave the link in the description. And if something in this episode spoke to your spirit, do not keep it to yourself. Share this episode with someone who needs to hear it, because healing, growth, and transformation should never happen alone. And if you are ready to rebuild your life with intention, if you are ready to grow mentally, spiritually, and financially, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. Because around here, we believe something powerful. We believe that your past does not define you. Your struggles do not disqualify you, and your story is not over. You still deserve a life filled with clarity, freedom, and abundance. And that is exactly what we are building together. So until next time, protect your peace, walk in your purpose, and get paid for the gifts God placed inside of you. Because when you live in alignment with who you truly are, that is why the mission is peace, purpose, and paid.